Hey there, Virgo. Alright, so we're going to start right off, okay? No long intros. Everything's been changed. No, I'm just kidding. But this isn't going to be a long intro. So this is where we're going to do how to find your love spread, okay? So this is about focusing on love, focusing on self-love, focusing on all the things that are blocking you with finding true love, that kind of true happiness that we're looking for. And it's not, I'm going to let you in on a secret. It doesn't come from a partner. It comes from you. So stay tuned, and wouldn't that be weird? Okay, so it comes from us, right? And that's what we're going to be focusing on. I'm going to get right into the reading. I shuffled a little bit. I'm going to shuffle a little bit more so that we can see what's going on. But I'm going to do this. We're going to shuffle one more time, and then we are just going to get right into this reading. Okay? All right. So our first card, this card represents you and the issues surrounding you. And we get the 9 of Pentacles. Okay? So this card represents you. So Virgo, you're working on independence. You're working on building your financial empire. I feel like, so this could be anything from a dog walking business to, I don't know why I had something with elevators coming to my mind, but it could be anything that you're doing, but you're starting to feel more independent. You're starting to feel like you can do things on your own. You're starting to feel empowered. So that's awesome. That's a really good feeling to have. And Virgo is all about kind of that quiet dignity and that kind of sense of self in a way. So this is really good for you guys starting off. But let's look at this the second card. We're not going to jump from first to third. Okay, so second card. This card represents your behavioral patterns that are influencing your love life. Okay, and we get, oh, look at that. We get the High Priestess in reverse. So, here's something interesting. Let me weave you a tale. So, the second card here, being the High Priestess in reverse, I feel like you guys are starting to grow psychically. You're starting to develop psychically, but you guys are ignoring it. Now, why would you be ignoring it? Now, here's the interesting thing. So to grow psychically is an interesting thing because some people, regardless, you don't have a choice, okay? You will just grow psychically because that was in your nature before you got here and you're just going to be psychic. And it's as simple as that. For others of us, we kind of have to work and develop it, but some of us are more natural, right? For me, I was someone who had to kind of work for it more. So that's where I am anyway. But this right here is you guys are starting to grow psychically, but you're not listening to the intuition. You're not listening to the way your spirit is speaking to you. Instead, you're kind of putting it on hold, and you're saying, you know what, okay. Fine, I get it. I'm growing psychically, but I don't want to. You can go away. Like, I feel like a lot of you guys are starting to grow that way, and the thing is with growing psychically, it can be kind of a painful thing because we start to see beyond illusions. I always tell people that I work with that when we're growing in a spiritual way, once we awaken, let's say that we were a size 9 shoe. We wore a size 9 shoe, right? Once we awaken, we have a size 12 foot in a size 9 shoe. Not comfortable, and as soon as you remove your size 12 foot from that size 9 shoe, you're not going to be able to put your foot back in there again, okay? And that's how it is. And we're just going to keep growing, and we're not going to be able to fit into the things we used to fit into. And that means roles in society. That means roles in family groups. That means roles in friendships. That's just the truth. We're not going to be able to fit there anymore. And the more we try to, the more kind of discord happens because there's something in your soul that keeps saying, we don't belong here. We just don't. And that's kind of a painful thing to realize. That's a painful self-realization. So, yeah. Kind of went off there. But that's what I'm seeing there. So the third card here, this card represents the areas that need further growth in order for you to find love. Okay? And we get the 9 of Cups in reverse. So we have the 9 here of Pentacles upright. And then we have the 9 of Cups in reverse. So I feel like you guys are establishing yourselves financially, but emotionally, you guys are not focusing on that. And intuitively, you're not either. There is something that's calling you, and you are saying, can you come back later? Okay, that's what I'm seeing. Something is calling you guys. You're saying, can you come back later? I can't answer the door right now. Kind of a thing. And so this is kind of a difficult process. So because this card is about representing further growth. And so for you to grow as a psychic, not as a psychic, okay, not as the title psychic, but for you to grow into being more psychic or more in tune, you kind of have to take self-charge. And a lot of people aren't going to know what you need on your journey, but you're going to have to know what you need. And sometimes that's scared because you're becoming reliant on yourself in a financial way, but you never thought that you would have to become reliant on yourself in a spiritual way like this. Okay, look at that. There's even 2 moons. I didn't even notice that. Moon, moon. Moon, moon. Okay, and they're kind of the same color too. You got purple, white, and blue, and you got kind of a purple, white, blue thing going on here too. So definitely, you guys, you're growing in a spiritual way. And it's not as scary as you think, because it's only going to go as far as you're ready for it to go. But the thing that is scary is that you're ready for so much more than you think you are, and so that's why it can be a little, shall we say, intimidating, okay? Now, some of you guys are going through an awakening, and that means that you need to look at things differently. You can't look at things the same way you used to look at them. And there's a lot of books on the topic, and maybe I'll do a series where I can kind of focus on books and we can talk about that kind of stuff. But for now, you need to focus on what you actually want out of life. You don't have to become a healer or a psychic or a medium or anything like that. That's not what this is about. But if you're becoming more psychic, you're going to understand things on a deeper level than most people, and that can be confusing at first. Okay. So our 4th card here, this card represents the areas you need to change or process in order to find love, okay? And we get the Magician in reverse. So we need to look that we are the creators of our own world, and we need to understand that if someone is trying to control us, that we are in charge of ourselves. No one can control us but us. But there can be situations where it seems like they have power. And I know in this is a How to Find Love spread, right? And I haven't mentioned love that much, but that's because your How to Find Love spread is within this kind of growing in this spiritual way. And so what we're focusing on is growth in a spiritual way, because that will lead to love. That will lead to a sense of like completion inside of your own soul, okay? And some of you guys won't resonate with this. That's absolutely fine, okay? But some of you will. And for those that are resonating with this is what I'm talking about, okay? So we're looking at growing in a way that moves beyond any it will eventually move beyond any self-doubt that we have, and we'll eventually have questions answered. But right now, we're kind of like right before curtain call, and it's really dark backstage, and we don't know what part we're playing. And so when that curtain rises up, and we're sitting there and we're trying to look at the audience, but we can't see anyone because the lights are too bright. Okay, this is us blinding ourselves. This is us not knowing what part we play, but we really do know what part. We just need to ask and look and meditate if you can, because that's definitely what this is focusing on. So if someone is blocking off your power, get rid of them, okay? It's probably one of the weirdest things I've ever done, but get rid of them. So let's look at this card here. So we have the 5th card. Okay, this card represents areas that need to be liberated within yourself to allow love into your life. And we get the Fool in reverse. So what we need to focus on is that a lot of things are going to be tipsy-turvy, a lot of topsy-turvy. Yeah, tipsy-turvy, that's if you're drunk and you're upside down. I don't know what I'm saying. So to me, the areas that need to be liberated in your life is you kind of need to have a new start. And again, you do not have to be psychic. You do not have to be a medium. You do not have to be a tarot card reader. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that you need to focus on yourself and you need to grow in a new direction. Because even though you're feeling financially like you're on top of the world, okay, I feel like spiritually there's still a lot that you don't understand and know. And I'm in the same way. I don't know a lot of this stuff either, but I'm learning. And as long as you focus on an attitude of learning and you never get to that point where you think you know everything, you should be fine. But just always be learning, always be kind of challenging yourself to do better. Don't critique yourself too much, but always be understanding yourself, always be focusing on that. And love will find a way, absolutely, because you guys are already starting to strike out pretty strongly in the beginning of this. And then I see some spiritual confusion going on, some little mumbo-jumbo here and there, a little dash of awakening, you know, but you're making yourself a nice spiritual stew, and soon you'll be able to share that with a partner, okay? And they might be growing in the same way too. So I hope you guys enjoyed your reading. You guys can check me out at vitaltarot.com. Virgo, I love you guys. I want you to have an amazing day. I want you to have an amazing week, and we will talk basically at the start of May. So I love you guys.